It was just the normal Thursday morning. The sun came through the kitchen window in soft stripes, the kind that made the dust sparkle in the air. Mom was making pancakes, flipping them with their old wooden spatula that always squeaked against the pan. I sat at the table, swinging my legs and drawing lazy circles on the foggy window. Mom glanced over her shoulder. "Are you ready for school today, sweetheart?" I shrugged. "Kinda. We have a math quiz." "Ooh," she said, pretending to be worried. "Should I call to school and tell them you're sick? Maybe you caught a terrible case of quizzits." I snorted. "That's not a real thing." Mom laughed. "It is now. I just invented it." She set a plate of pancakes in front of me. "Eat up before they get cold. They're your favorite, chocolate chip." "Thanks, Mom." She poured herself some coffee and sat across from me. For a few minutes, we ate quietly, listening to the morning news on the radio. The anchor talked about the weather, the upcoming storm, and some weird animal sightings in the woods. But Mom turned it down before I could hear more. She reached across the table and tapped my knuckles lightly. "Hey," she said with a smile. "You're quiet today. Everything okay?" "Yeah," I said, "just tired." "Want to talk about anything?" I shook my head. "Not really." "All right," she said softly. "But if you change your mind, you know I'm here." I nodded. "I know." Mom smiled, brushing the crumb off my cheek. "You're my whole world, you know that?" "Mom, you're being mushy again." "That's my job," she laughed. "Moms are supposed to be mushy." I rolled my eyes, but I was smiling too. Everything felt completely normal. Just me and Mom, just a regular morning. Before anything strange happened, before anything changed, before the knocking. After breakfast, Mom cleaned the dishes while I got my backpack. Everything still felt ordinary. The sun was bright, the radio was mumbling about weather alerts, and Mom hummed one of her old songs under her breath. But when I opened the front door to leave the school, Mom suddenly grabbed my shoulder. "Wait!" Her voice changed, soft but intense. I froze. "What?" I asked. She stared outside at the trees lining our driveway. They were still quiet. The world was calm. Too calm. Mom forced a smile. "Never mind, go ahead. I'm being paranoid." But she walked me out to the car instead of letting me go alone. She scanned the woods the whole time. I pretend not to notice. Later that afternoon, when I got home from school, Mom was in the kitchen, again, cutting vegetables for dinner. The house smelled like garlic and rosemary for a moment. Everything felt warm and safe again. She looked up as I walked in. "Hey, sweetie, how was your quiz?" "Easy," I said. "I think I did good." "I knew you would." She smiled and tossed the chopped onions into the pan. I dropped my backpack and laid it on the counter. "Mom, why were you weird this morning?" "Outside." She hesitated, just for a second, just long enough for me to notice. "I wasn't weird," she said lightly, "just tired." But her eyes didn't match her voice. Still, we kept talking about school, about the storm coming later that night, about maybe watching a movie together. It felt normal again, until someone knocked on the door. Mom froze. Her knife hovered above the cutting board. "Probably delivery," I said, casually walking towards the front entrance. No! But I have already reached for the doorknob. Before I touched it, a familiar voice drifted in from the outside. Sweetie, dinner's ready. I blinked. That was Mom's voice. But Mom was behind me, still in the kitchen, still holding a knife, staring at the door in horror. She whispered, Honey, step away. My heart hammered. Mom, what is that? Outside, the voice repeated, perfectly warmly, Sweetie, dinner's ready. Mom grabbed my arm and pulled me back. Don't answer it. Don't speak. Don't even breathe loud. The knocking grew sharper. Let me in! It demanded, still using Mom's voice but bending it, stretching it, ruining it. The real Mom pushed me behind her, trembling. It found us, she whispered. It wasn't supposed to know where we lived. The house fell silent. Then suddenly, we heard footsteps moving around the outside wall. Slow, dragging, searching, and the voice now whispering through the living room window. I can't see you. Mom didn't move. I didn't either. We both stood in the center of the living room, staring at the window where the voice had whispered. Snow blew softly outside. Shadows shifted in the trees, but whatever was speaking wasn't visible. Mom swallowed hard, her hand gripping my arm so tightly, her fingers shook. All right, she whispered, barely moving her lips. We're going to the hallway, slowly. We backed away from the window, quiet as possible. The house creaked under our steps. Every noise felt too loud. Then, this time from the back door, the same voice, still using hers. Sweetie, I made dinner. Come open the door. I whispered, Mom, it sounds exactly like you. I know, she said. That's what it does. What is it? She didn't answer. We reached the hallway. Just then another sound started. A light scratching. Not on the door, not on the window, but inside the walls. Like something was sliding its fingers along the wooden beams. I stare at the wall, feeling the hairs on my arms rise. Mom, it's in the house. No, she whispered. Not yet. It's moving around the outside frame, testing the structure. The scratching stopped. Silence. Then, a soft, breathy whisper came from the hidden vent right behind us. Sweetheart. I jumped. Mom covered my mouth before I could make a sound. The whisper pressed against the vent grate, like a mouth speaking through metal. Why are you hiding from me? Mom grabbed my hand and pulled me toward her bedroom. She locked the door, dragged a dresser in front of it, and pressed her back against the wall, breathing fast. Mom, what's happening? I whispered. Her eyes were wide, scared in the way I ever see. Sweetie, there's something I need to tell you. But before she could, the thing in the vent whispered again. Closer this time, right next to the floor. I know who you are. Mom led us down the narrow hallway, her hand gripping mine so tightly it hurt. Dad followed with Lily, clinging to his jacket, eyes wide in fear. Every creak of that wooden floor sounded like a gunshot. The house has gone quiet, too quiet. Then a soft tap came from the walls. Not the floor, not the windows, but the walls themselves, as if someone or something was pacing inside the wood. Dad whispered, "This isn't real, right?" Mom shook her head, her jaw tight. "It's real, and it's inside, or it wants to be." A sudden knock from the front door made all of us jump. Mom's voice drifted from outside. "Sweetie, dinner's ready." Lily clutched my shirt. "That's Mom?" Mom's eyes went wide. "No, that's not me. Not this time." The hallway ended up at the living room. Mom pushed the side door open into a small guest bedroom. "This will work," she said. "We barricade here for now." Dad moves to the dresser first, shoving it against the door. Mom slid the bed in behind it. Lily curled under the covers, hugging her bunny. I crouched beside her, trying not to breathe too loudly. Then the fence hissed. A soft dragging sound moving along the ceiling. "Daddy, open the door." A voice whispered through the vent. Dad paled. "That's me." Mom grabbed his arm. "Don't respond. Don't let it get inside." The scratching grew louder. The voice became harsher, angrier, closer. "I can't see you. I know where you are. Let me in." Lily whimpered. I held her hand tight. Mom's hand shook, but her voice was firm. "We're staying here together, quiet, until it goes away, or until we figure out how to stop it." We pressed ourselves against the wall, listening to the house groan under the storm outside. The intruder whispered again, this time imitating all of us at once. "Sweetie, Daddy, Lily, come play with me." And the scratching moved. Right along the door we had barricaded. Mom's eyes were fierce. "We face it together, or it won't stop until it takes us all," she said. Dad grabbed the fire extinguisher and a crowbar, ready for anything. Lily crunched her bunny, trembling but determined to stay close. The intruder appeared in the living room, a twisted shadow with the compounded face of everyone in the family grinning inhumanely. Mom's voice shook, but she was calm. "Follow me now." We ran towards the basement. The creatures lunged after us. Behind us, a loud rumble started. The house itself reached into the intruder. The lights flickered. The windows shattered. Snow blew in through cracks in the walls. Mom shoved the red gas canister she had hidden under the stairs into the fireplace. "Everyone, watch out! We're blowing it!" I stared at her. "Are you serious?" She nodded firmly. "It's the only way if it survives. It'll keep hurting us." We sprinted out to the back door just as the first explosion ripped through the living room. Flames shot through the window. The intruder shrieked, and the sound that was the half-human, half-metal, the half-fire engulfed it. Another blast shook the walls. The roof buckled, throwing shards of wood into the snowstorm. The creature's voice, imitating all of us at once, screamed, "Yeah! Don't leave me! I'll find you!" We rolled through the snow, coughing, covering in ash, just as the final explosion tore the house apart. Timber glass and smoke flew everywhere. By the time the fire settled, nothing remained of the cabin but a smoking crater. Mom pulled us close, shivering. "It's gone," she said softly. "I think it's really gone this time." Dad looked back at the ruins. "Whatever that thing was, it's finished. Lily hugged Mom. Are we safe now? Mom kissed her forehead. From now on, she whispered, we are safe. We have each other, and that's all that matters. Even as we walked into a snowy morning, the wind howled around us, and faintly, almost playfully, it seemed to whisper, I'll find you someday. But this time, we didn't look back.